Welcome to this comprehensive guide on hull and machinery insurance, specially prepared for MEO Class 1 candidates. Hull and machinery insurance, commonly known as H&M insurance, is one of the most important forms of marine insurance. It protects the shipowner against physical loss or damage to the vessel, its hull, machinery, and associated equipment. In this lecture, we will understand the history of hull and machinery insurance, the international hull clauses, major insured perils, collision liability, general average, salvage, sue and labor obligations, total loss provisions, warranties, exclusions, claims procedures, and many other important concepts frequently asked in MEO Class 1 oral examinations. By the end of this lecture, you will have a solid understanding of how H&M insurance works and how various clauses protect shipowners against maritime risks. To understand modern hull and machinery insurance, it is useful to know its historical development. The first widely used marine insurance policy was the Lloyd's SG policy introduced in 1779. This policy covered both the ship and cargo under a single insurance contract. The major maritime perils covered included storms, fire, stranding, and piracy. At that time, ships were mainly wooden sailing vessels, so there was very little reference to machinery-related risks. A major turning point came in 1887 with the famous Inchmaree incident. As steamships became more common, machinery failures and negligence-related damage exposed weaknesses in traditional insurance policies. It became clear that machinery damage caused by negligence was not adequately covered. This led to the development of additional machinery protection clauses, eventually forming the basis of what we now call the Inchmaree Clause. This event significantly influenced the evolution of modern hull and machinery insurance. In 1888, the Institute Time Clauses for hulls were introduced by the Institute of London Underwriters. This was extremely important because hull insurance became a separate and distinct insurance product rather than being combined with cargo insurance. The new standardized clauses brought consistency and uniformity to international marine insurance practices. In 1906, the Marine Insurance Act of the United Kingdom was enacted. This act codified centuries of marine insurance customs and legal principles. Even today, it remains one of the foundations of marine insurance law throughout the world. From 1983 onwards, modern hull and machinery policies were developed. These policies were updated to address modern ship technology, professional ship management structures, and contemporary claims handling practices. The international hull clauses used today evolved from these developments. The international hull clauses, dated 1 November 2003, formed the foundation of most modern hull and machinery insurance policies. The clauses are designed to use with the current MAR policy form. The entire policy structure is divided into three major parts. Part 1 contains the principal insuring conditions. Part 2 contains additional clauses. Part 3 contains claims provisions. Understanding these three sections is essential because almost every H&M insurance question asked in examinations comes from these clauses. This slide provides an overview of all 50 clauses contained within the international hull clauses. Clauses 1 to 31 deal with principal insuring conditions such as perils, collision liability, salvage, navigation provisions, classification requirements, constructive total loss, assignment, and exclusions. Clauses 32 to 41 contain additional clauses covering navigation limits, recommissioning, premium payment, fixed and floating objects, layup returns, general average absorption, and additional perils. Clauses 42 to 50 contain claims procedures, notice requirements, duties of the assured, duties of underwriters, recoveries, payments, security, and dispute resolution.
For MEO Class 1 examinations, candidates should know the purpose and significance of each clause, even if every word cannot be memorized.
Clause 2.1 specifies the named perils covered under hull and machinery insurance. Coverage applies to loss or damage caused by perils of the seas, rivers, lakes, and other navigable waters. Fire and explosion are covered. Violent theft committed by persons from outside the vessel is covered. Jettison is covered. Piracy is covered. However, candidates should remember an important examination point. The policy covers damage caused by piracy to the vessel, but it does not cover ransom payments made to pirates. Coverage also includes contact with docks, harbor installations, and land conveyances. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and lightning are covered. Accidents during loading, discharging, or shifting of cargo, fuel, stores, and spare parts are covered. Contact with aircraft, helicopters, satellites, or falling objects is also covered. Whenever asked in oral examinations, these are the standard named perils covered under H&M insurance.
Clause 2.2 is commonly known as the Inchmaree Clause. This clause was introduced to fill gaps left by traditional marine insurance policies. It covers bursting of boilers and breakage of shafts. However, an important limitation exists. The policy does not pay for the repair or replacement of the burst boiler itself or the broken shaft itself. Instead, it pays for the resulting damage caused by that failure. The clause also covers latent defects in machinery or hull. A latent defect means a hidden defect that could not reasonably be discovered during normal inspection. Again, the policy does not cover correction of the defect itself. It covers the damage resulting from that defect. The clause further covers negligence of masters, officers, crew members, and pilots. Negligence of repairers and charterers may also be covered under specified conditions. Barratry by the master, officers, or crew is also covered. A simple examination answer is the Inchmaree Clause covers negligence of master and crew and damage caused by latent defects, but not the cost of correcting the latent defect itself.
If you are finding these MEO Class 1 insurance topics useful and easy to understand, please subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. It motivates me to create more detailed maritime law and marine engineering content for your MEO Class 1 preparation. Also, comment below which topic you would like me to cover next. Clause 3 deals with leased equipment. Sometimes equipment installed on board is not owned by the shipowner but is leased from another company. If the shipowner has accepted contractual responsibility for that equipment, H&M insurance can cover loss or damage caused by an insured peril. Clause 4 deals with parts taken off the vessel. For example, machinery components may be removed for repair or overhaul. The insurance continues to provide cover for these parts while they are off the vessel. However, cover is normally limited to 60 days. If the parts remain off the vessel for more than 60 days, underwriters must be notified and additional terms may apply. The total liability under this clause cannot exceed 5% of the insured value of the vessel.
Clause 5 deals with pollution hazard. This clause covers loss or damage to the vessel caused by governmental authorities acting to prevent pollution. For example, if authorities take emergency action against a damaged ship to avoid environmental contamination, and this action causes further damage to the vessel, the resulting damage may be covered. However, there must be no lack of due diligence by the owners or managers. Clause 7 is the sister ship clause. It applies when the insured vessel collides with another vessel owned by the same company or under the same management. Normally, a company cannot sue itself. Therefore, this clause allows the insured vessel to be treated as if the other vessel belonged to an independent owner.
This ensures fair treatment of collision and salvage claims involving sister ships.
Clause 6 deals with collision liability. Historically, hull and machinery insurers agreed to indemnify only 3/4, or 75%, of collision liability. The remaining 1/4 was traditionally covered through other arrangements, often P&I insurance. Under this clause, underwriters indemnify the assured for 3/4 of liability arising from damage to another vessel, delay, loss of use, general average, or salvage. An important concept here is the cross-liability principle. When both vessels are partly at fault, each vessel's liability is assessed separately. For example, if vessel A is 60% at fault and vessel B is 40% at fault, each vessel compensates the other according to its degree of responsibility. This principle is frequently asked during oral examinations and should be clearly understood.
Now, let's discuss Clause 8, which deals with general average and salvage. This is one of the most important clauses for MEO Class 1 examinations. Under this clause, hull and machinery insurers cover the vessel's proportion of general average contributions, salvage charges, and salvage expenses. An important point is that recovery is made without reduction for underinsurance. This means the vessel owner can recover the vessel's share, even if the vessel was insured for less than its actual value. Another important provision states that when there is a general average sacrifice, the ship owner can recover the whole loss from underwriters without first collecting contributions from cargo interests. General average is normally adjusted according to the law and practice at the place where the voyage ends. However, if the contract of affreightment specifies the York-Antwerp rules, then adjustment will be made according to those rules. When a vessel sails in ballast and is not under charter, York-Antwerp Rules 1994 apply, excluding Rules 20 and 21. Remember that H&M insurers are not liable for losses that were not incurred to avoid an insured peril. Another important examination point is environmental liability. H&M insurance does not cover special compensation payable under Article 14 of the Salvage Convention 1989. Similarly, expenses related to environmental damage or pollution are generally excluded. However, if environmental protection efforts are considered when calculating salvage remuneration under Article 13 of the Salvage Convention, that portion may be covered. A simple oral examination answer is, H&M insurance covers the vessel's share of general average and salvage, but generally does not cover environmental liabilities.
Clause 9 is known as the Sue and Labor Clause. This clause places a legal duty on the assured, meaning the ship owner, to take reasonable actions to prevent or minimize losses. Whenever an accident or misfortune occurs, the owner, master, crew, and agents must act prudently to reduce further damage. For example, if seawater enters the engine room after hull damage, the crew should immediately start pumping operations, isolate affected systems, and take all reasonable measures to minimize the loss. If reasonable expenses are incurred for such actions, the underwriters will contribute towards those expenses. However, general average expenses and normal salvage charges are not recovered under the Sue and Labor Clause because they are dealt with separately. Another important point is that actions taken by the owner or insurer to save the vessel do not mean that either party has waived its legal rights. In case underwriters have admitted a total loss claim and expenses are incurred while trying to save the vessel, the insurers may bear their proportionate share of those expenses. One key examination point is that Sue and Labor expenses are payable in addition to other recoverable losses. However, the total amount payable can never exceed the insured value of the vessel. A simple oral answer is, Sue and Labor means the duty of the assured to take reasonable steps to prevent or minimize loss, and underwriters contribute to properly incurred expenses. Please check the video made on Sue and Labor Clause.